I'm Winter, and today for my silver award, I'll be teaching you how to participate in TNR, Trap, Neuter, Return. TNR, or Trap, Neuter, Return, is the most humane and effective way to stabilize urban cat populations. A cat is caught in a humane trap, taken to be spayed or neutered, and then returned to their previous outdoor home. The easiest way to tell if a cat has been through the program is if their ear has been tipped. Ear tips are when the top 3/8 of a cat's left ear have been removed. This is done under anesthesia and does not affect the cat's hearing or mobility. The most popular alternative to TNR is trap kill. This method involves trapping and killing cats. While obviously being inhumane and cruel, this method is ineffective. In TNR, after being neutered, cats are returned to their home or colony. This allows them to continue to defend their territory. In trap kill, a vacuum near the food source is created as the defending population is removed and new cats can settle in and start reproducing again. A third method, dubbed catch tame, is the unrealistic idea of catching cats to tame as pets. Firstly, there are too many tame cats in shelters without homes. Secondly, once cats are of teenage, it is almost impossible to get them to love or even tolerate humans. Resources used to try to tame cats could be better used for already tame cats who are suffering in shelters. Cats who are not tame are feral, which means wild. Feral cats are not aggressive or confrontational. They are just normal cats who prefer not to be close or around humans. Feral to tame is a spectrum, and a cat can fall anywhere within that spectrum. Some cats will be uncomfortable when humans are 20 feet away, and some will come within 3 feet of a human, but will run if one tries to touch them. Cats are most easily socialized between 3 and 12 weeks of age, because they are starting to wean and are biologically programmed to accept change. Cats living in a colony or relying on humans for food, however feral or tame, are called community cats. Cats you feed outside or are trying to spay and neuter are most likely community cats like these. For more information on kittens, the weaning process, and feral cats, I would recommend visiting Hannah Shaw's or Kitten Lady's YouTube page, which will be cited at the end of this video. Before we get into how to humanely trap cats, transport them to the vet, and provide a space for them to recuperate from surgery, I would like to share with you the result of when cats are unneutered. This is Pepper. He came from a neighborhood colony where the cats had not been spayed or neutered. He has a URI or upper respiratory infection. You can hear him sniffling. He's currently receiving antibiotics, but he hasn't responded to treatment yet. URIs can potentially kill cats without treatment, especially little kittens. As you can see, he has crust around his eyes and nose, and he's sniffly and sneezy. And although he's very cute, there are way too many kittens in the world, and it's very sad that we aren't able to care for all of them. Pepper, I loved meeting you. Say goodbye, Peppers. Goodbye.
Which that's actually really important, because if he hadn't found you,
He might have died.
he could either that or he'd be out, and who knows what.
It rained last night.
Yeah, or where he might go, or what's the issue. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys found him. He's gonna find a good home now.
Pepper is now with the Arizona Humane Society, who has taken him and his 5 brothers and sisters to receive treatment and to be put up with one of their fosters. In a few months, they will be up for adoption.
One of the things that you find in large cities or transient cities, especially where colleges are too, is that people come, they're here for a semester, but people would adopt animals and then at the end of the semester just leave and leave the cats outside. So it was a cultural thing with people too, where you realize, hey, this isn't just a little trendy thing that you own for 6 months or a couple of years while you're here at college and then you leave the kitten. That transient nature with certain areas plays into the increase of cats in feral colonies too.
Now I'm going to show you how to set up a trap. First thing you do is get some newspaper. You want it about 3 pieces thick. You fold the side that's open in, and listen, the reason you want it 3 pieces thick is because the cats are going to be in there for a couple days, or at least 24 hours. So it's going to be a little uncomfy on their paws if there isn't good enough support. And 3 pieces isn't so thin or thick that the traps won't go off. Next, you're gonna take some cat food. I recommend using Friskies. It's very fragrant, it gets the cat's attention, and it's really tasty. We got 2 varieties. We got beef and we got tuna. A lot of cats like tuna, but some don't, so if you're not catching any, then I would switch to beef. You want to take just a little, they're having surgery the next day, so you don't want them to be on a full stomach, so just about a tablespoon should be enough. You're going to slide that in. I recommend using yogurt lids or something easy and thin. That way it doesn't set off the trap. It's good. And then you're going to take just a little bit, like that much. You're going to go to the front of the trap and just put it just a little. That way they get a taste for it and they'll be enticed to come get the bigger meal over here. If it's a particularly windy day, then you're going to want to put some rocks in, not towards the trip plate, because then that will set the plate off. But if this is all moving around, a cat's not going to want to go in there. So, just enough. So you're sliding these rings up. You're using your index fingers to lift the door. There's a bar where it's pointing down, and you're going to slide it to the side so the tips just barely meet with this bar that is attached to the door. The bar that's just barely meeting with the tips is attached to a chain, which is attached to the trip plate. The food right now is marking the trip plate. That's not where you should put it. You're going to slide this food back all the way down here. That way they have to step on the trip plate in order to get the food. They don't just get to stop right here and just eat it from the trip plate. You want to make sure that this back is safely secured. This has an automatic lock, and now it can't be opened from the inside. And this is how a trap works. A cat will step on this, and it'll close safely behind them. We're going to take the trap. You're going to take it close to where cats normally are fed, or near the side of the building, something that's not completely out in the open. I'm going to put this back a little, that way it can just jump on up like that. You have a trap cover nearby, that way it's easy to put on the trap at a moment's notice, because once cats are inside, they're scared, they're thrashing, they're going to hurt themselves. But putting a trap cover on, or just something to block their view from the outside, calms them down every time. So I'm just going to put this one right here. Easy access. You have to make sure to know how many traps you're using. Today we're only working with 1, and this trap is labeled 152. It has all of our information on it. That way, if someone finds it, they can easily call us, they can easily return it, but we're not going to leave it unsupervised. We always have to stay within auditory or visual distance of the trap. And now, we're going to set it. Remember, we're sliding these rings up using our index fingers to lift the trap door, sliding the horizontal bar so that the tip touches the one connected to the... Okay, now we don't need it today because we're not trapping near grass, but sometimes when there's grass especially, there will be ants, and ants will come in for the food, and then they'll start biting cats once there's cats in there, and that's really bad. So you're going to take this, and I'm not going to do it today, but you're going to just sprinkle an unbroken line of cinnamon all around. You're going to use a lot of cinnamon. So, that's it.
we never actually knew how many we were getting that day. We would try to set it up ahead of time, but you set up the traps and you may not be successful. You may end up trapping more than you thought.
That's what you always
And you may end up not trapping as many as you thought. And so when they come in, we would tell them, hey, this is about how many we could do. So they would bring them in and we would do them last after all of the owned cats. They would be our last group that we would do.
We weren't catching any cats in this location, so we moved to a different, more sheltered location where the cats were more comfortable entering the trap. A security camera was able to get footage of this cat from not very far away, but you want to stay at least 20 or 30 feet away from this cat. We have a little female. Her ears aren't tipped, which means she is intact. Okay, I'm gonna take her on inside, and she's going to get to the vet. While housing cats overnight, make sure you put a tarp down in the room they're staying in. And when transporting them to the vet, make sure you put a tarp down. The tarp will act as a net for any feces and urine, and the newspaper will help soak up urine and feces too, but it is not enough, and you don't want your car or your house to smell like cat pee. Also, make sure that any indoor pets or even outdoor pets you have stay safely away from the room in which the cats you are housing for the night are in. If you caught multiple cats, make sure they cannot see each other inside the room they are being housed in. The lady just got surgery. She just spent the night recouping, and she should be good. So she has a nice ear tip. We're going to let her out with the back of the trap. Thank you for watching my video on TNR, and thank you to Dr. Claudia Channing and the North Kenilworth Veterinary Hospital. And thank you to ADLA, Animal Defense League of Arizona, and the Arizona Humane Society. And if you can't participate in TNR, there's other ways you can help animal welfare by donating to your local shelter, TNR group, or fostering kittens.